Hello, Quartermaster.
Good morning, Agent Stamos. I'd like to present you with your beautiful new car, BMW 750 with modifications. Now, pay attention, please. It has all the usual refinements and as well may be operated remotely via this cellular telephone. Oh, don't touch!
Sorry.
My name is Brian Wigga, and I have a star car. It's a replica of the Q-branch rocket-firing, radio-controlled BMW that Pierce Brosnan drove in the film Tomorrow Never Dies. I'm from Irvine, California, and I design optical equipment for people who are doing post-production on movies. Tomorrow Never Dies came out in 1997. I went and saw it in the theaters when I was all 15 years old. And when you're 15 years old, Tomorrow Never Dies is the greatest movie ever. It was a total action movie.
So usually Bond's driving an Aston Martin, something really sleek. Why do you think the producers chose this make and model?
For the previous Bond film, GoldenEye, they had the Z3, which was the first time that car was introduced, but it didn't have any gadgets. So the next film, Tomorrow Never Dies, they wanted a car that kicked some ass, that had all the gadgets, so they put it in this great big four-seater, which kind of worked out because Bond was pretending to be a banker.
What made you decide you had to have this car?
I own two Herbies, and I take them to charity events with the Star Car Central group. I got a little bit tired of dealing with a 50-year-old Volkswagen driving on the freeway with no air conditioning, no GPS, so I got this, which is the world's greatest luxury car. It's my daily driver. I don't have to worry about it. It's the ultimate sleeper movie car.
So what features did you install in the car, and what do they do?
The rocket launcher sunroof is the most obvious one. It's a cartridge that sits in there for shows, and then underneath, I set it up so that you could play James Bond video games in the back seat so that people can pretend they're driving from the back seat. I also have the BMW logo chain cutter that sits on the hood of the car, which is very useful if there's a rope across your path anywhere between, say, 27 and 29 inches high, you'll be able to cut right through it. So in the film, the car is supposed to be radio controlled by a cell phone, and he's driving it from the back. But I wanted the same effect for a parade in Burbank last year, so I basically bought an extra BMW seat, hollowed it out, and wore it over my head like a shirt. It fooled people pretty well at the parade, and I love seeing their reactions. Actually, it's turned into a full-blown internet meme that was featured on Fail blog.
Any anti-theft devices on this baby?
If anybody tries to steal this car, they'll be stopped by the tear gas that comes billowing out of the car and causes them to cry about their life choices. But since I do charity events, it's a fog machine.
So with the features you added on the car, what was the hardest to put together?
The sunroof was something like 100 pieces that I milled by hand in about 7 days.
How do people react when they see those rocket launchers on your car?
They either think that I'm a nerd or I'm a very dangerous individual.
What would your total cost on this vehicle be?
You know, for about 10 to 15 grand, I can either have a used Camry or a Bond car. I mean, there's no choice. It's great.
What's it like to drive?
Let me tell you, this car drives as smooth as Pierce Brosnan's face.
Giggity.
It handles well because it's a BMW. It's a 4.5-liter V8. In the movie, they use the V8 cars, but they put the V12 badges on the car, so I figured I was safe to do that to my car as well. Gas mileage is like 16 around the city. Considerably worse than that if you're being chased by bad guys.
Do you have any props or memorabilia to go along with the car?
Oh yeah, there's tons of Bond stuff. Some foam rubber and resin guns that were used in the films for fight scenes when they didn't want to hit each other. I've got lots of books and toys of this car that have been built. One of my favorite pieces is a blueprint for a submarine that was actually given to me by a Bond villain when I was 5 years old. He was the sub-pilot in For Your Eyes Only that was trying to kill Roger Moore.
So who is your favorite James Bond?
It's tough. I really like Pierce Brosnan's movies, Timothy Dalton's movies, the George Lazenby movie, Sean Connery's movies. I really like Daniel Craig, so each one of them did a perfect job for the movie that they did.
You know, Roger Moore, I think, would be pretty insulted to not be on your list of
He's
Bonds.
not my favorite Bond.
And he's my favorite Bond. I'm a little insulted, and I think Roger would be too.
I liked him in The Saint.
How do people react when they see your car?
There are some people that turn into 12-year-olds, just like their kids, like, oh, it's James Bond's car. I love that movie. I saw it in the theater with my childhood sweetheart. Everybody's got a good memory from each Bond movie, and it's fun to be able to share that with them. So what do you say? You want to go take it for a test drive?
I do, but I gotta use this.
I can do that.
Okay.
How was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted playing Angry Birds. Can you do that again?
How was that?
Oh, I need a stiff martini.